All right, today we're talking about a chicken that's basically royalty. It's been called the king of poultry, and honestly, when you see one, you'll get why. We are diving deep into the world of the Brahma chicken.
Now, you probably heard people call them gentle giants, and that nickname is absolutely spot on. They are without a doubt one of the biggest chicken breeds you'll ever see, but at the same time, they have this unbelievably calm, sweet nature. It's that wild combo of massive size and quiet serenity that's made people fall in love with them for generations.
So that begs the question, right? What's the real story here? How did this giant, feathery bird climb the ladder to become king of the coop? And what is it about them that makes everyone want one in their backyard flock today? Well, let's get into it.
Okay, first things first, let's get properly introduced to this so-called gentle giant.
And when we say giant, we mean it. Let this number sink in. 12 pounds. A full-grown Brahma rooster can easily weigh 12 pounds, and some of the really big boys can push 15 or more. We're talking about a bird that makes most other chickens look tiny.
So, what is a Brahma exactly? Well, it's a huge breed that was actually developed right here in America. The things that make you go, whoa, that's a Brahma, are its sheer size, its really solid, broad build, and, of course, those incredible feathers that go all the way down its legs and cover its feet. It's like they have their own built-in fluffy snow boots. Now, this is where things get really interesting. For a bird this famous, you'd think its origin story would be pretty clear-cut. But nope, it's actually a huge historical puzzle with a ton of drama and debate.
Okay, so here's the timeline. The whole thing kicks off in the 1840s when these big, impressive birds were brought to the U.S. from Shanghai. American breeders got to work, and by the 1850s, the Brahma was a superstar. It got its official recognition in 1874, and pretty soon became the go-to chicken for meat in the entire country. But, and this is the big but, where those original birds came from, oh, that's where the fight really begins.
And you want to talk about drama? Check out this quote from 1874. One of the main guys in the Brahma story, George Pickering Burnham, was not holding back. He basically called a competing origin story silly and claimed it was absolutely exploded or totally debunked. Strong words. So it all came down to this one huge debate. One side, the story Burnham hated, claimed the birds were from India near the Brahmaputra River, which is obviously where the name Brahma would have come from. But the other side, Burnham's side, insisted that, nope, he and other Americans created the breed from those Chinese Shanghai birds. And you know what? To this day, it's still a little bit of a mystery, which just adds to the legend, doesn't it?
Okay, so let's move on from all that historical drama and talk about the reason people absolutely adore these birds today, their amazing personalities, and the different types you can find.
Now, you'll see a few different color patterns, but the two big ones you'll run into are the buff and the light Brahma. The best way to think of the buff Brahma is as the cuddle buddy. Seriously, these guys are known for being so incredibly calm and friendly, they're basically lap chickens. Then you've got the light Brahma, the striking layer, with that gorgeous black and white pattern. Still super friendly, but maybe a little more independent, and they tend to lay just a few more eggs.
And this chart breaks down those little differences perfectly. You can see the distinct color patterns right away. Temperament-wise, the buff is labeled very friendly, which says it all. Egg-wise, the light just edges out the buff by about 10 eggs a year. But look at the bottom. They are both absolute champs when it comes to handling the cold.
You know, one source described them as a feathered Labrador, and honestly, I can't think of a more perfect way to put it. It just captures their whole vibe. They're so docile and chill, which makes them amazing for families with kids. They're not loud birds at all, just soft little clucks, and they play well with others. They get along just fine with other breeds, and even the roosters are known for being pretty mellow.
So you might be thinking, okay, I'm sold. I need one. But hold on a second. What does it actually take to care for a bird this big? Let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Well, first and foremost, their size dictates everything. They need space. Plan on at least 5 square feet for each bird inside the coop. And you can forget about those flimsy little roosting perches. You're going to have to upgrade to a sturdy 2x4 to hold their weight. Good food is a must, and even though they're built for the cold, you absolutely have to make sure they have shade and cool water when it gets hot.
Okay, but we have to talk about those feet. They look amazing, right? But that unique feature comes with its own unique challenge. So what's the one potential downside to all that fluff?
Yep, you guessed it. All those feathers are basically a magnet for mud and moisture, which can create big problems. More importantly, it's the perfect hiding place for nasty little pests, especially scaly leg mites.
These things can burrow under their scales and cause some serious pain and damage if you don't catch them. But don't panic. If you ever run into this, there's a super simple and effective home remedy. It's just 4 steps. First, you soak their feet and legs in some warm, soapy water to soften everything up. Then you dry them off really well. Step 3 is to smother the whole area in petroleum jelly, which suffocates the mites. And the final step is absolutely crucial. You have to repeat this whole process every week for a few weeks to make sure you get any new mites that hatch. It's totally manageable, you just gotta be vigilant.
So let's pull back and look at the big picture. After more than 150 years in the spotlight, what is the real, lasting legacy of the Brahma chicken?
It's really an incredible story of evolution. This bird went from being the absolute king of the 19th century farm, the most important chicken for meat and winter eggs, to becoming one of the most beloved backyard pets today. It just proves that the unbeatable combination of stunning size and a sweet, serene soul is totally timeless. It's just shifted from being a provider to being part of the family.
And that brings us to one final thought. When you think about its mysterious past, its genuinely gentle soul, and just that undeniable wow factor, you have to ask yourself, is the Brahma the perfect blend of pet and poultry for today's world? Maybe its true purpose now isn't just about meat and eggs, but about being both a productive animal and a genuine companion. What do you think?